In this video, I am going to be showing you the Luca Doncic build. I know I just watched him drop 60 points, ridiculous triple-double, 21 rebounds, 10 assists. Like, that was insane. That was an insane. I watched the game and I was like, holy, no way. I'm going to jump on the builder, and I know people would want to make this build. So I spent some time this morning thinking about the build, and basically I came up with two versions for you guys. I'm going to show you two versions of the Luca build. One of them gets gold bully, one of them gets silver bully. The first version, what you're going to do with that, you're going to go 6'9" with the height. The reason you're going 6'9", I know technically speaking in real life Luca is 6'8", but if you think about it, Luca is one of the tallest point guards in the NBA, because it's technically not a point guard, right? He transitioned from being a small forward and then he runs point full time now, pretty much. So you know, you can't make him 6'8" because there's a lot of guards in this game that are going to be 6'9". So you want to be the tallest guy on the court, you know, as well, when it comes to running point guard anyway. So not to go too much into detail with the weight. You're gonna go 226 on the weight with this build. So you want to give it that Luca sort of bulky stature type. And with the wingspan, you are going to go 7'4". And again, with the, you know, you can't get burly, unfortunately, so you can leave it at solid. Now with the attributes, now Luca's pretty good at taking close shots. You know, he doesn't, you know, do them at you know, every single time, but you're gonna go 76 with the close shot, and then with the driving layup you are going to go to 80, because Luca's pretty good at driving. He's not really known for his dunking, even though he can dunk. So for that reason, when it comes to driving dunk, you are going to T1. I was gonna leave it at 80, but you know, if you go to 81, as you can see, you get an extra +1, so you might as well just take advantage of that. Now of course, Luca is known for his post games, you know, post spins, you know, drop steps. So a lot of these crazy post game he's got. So you're gonna go 84. Again, with this one I was gonna leave at 80, but with the 84 you get the extra, you know, finishing badge, so you might as well take advantage of that. Of course, with his shooting, Luca is a crazy 3-point shooter. Now there are two things you guys are probably looking at. The Agent 3 does go up to silver, and you are probably thinking, oh, maybe, so you know, Luca does have a like a gold Agent 3, for example. The second version of this build will have gold Agent 3, but I think this build is gonna look more like Luca and it's gonna feel more like Luca, and that's why I made this as a first version to show you guys. Now with the free throw, I mean, it's about 75 just to be able to make a lot of the free throws, and Luca takes a lot of mid-range. You know, he's very good at taking fades, so you want to make sure you can, you know, make those. So you're gonna go 81. That does give you a Hall of Fame mid magician. Now with the playmaking, listen, Luca, although he's not the fastest player, he doesn't get stripped a lot either. You know, he's a very smart IQ player. He gets to a spot every single time. So for that reason, we're actually going to max out his ball handle, and also with his speed of ball, you're going to go up to a 71. The reason you don't want to go any higher, you can go to 73 if you want, but you're not going to get any extra playmaking badges, so you might as well just leave it at 71. Now with his passing, again, Luca's an underrated passer. I mean, he just have a triple-double, so underrated passer. You're gonna go to 82. That should give you good passing animations. You get a LeBron James, which is pretty good. And when it comes to his defense, look, Luca is not the greatest defender in the universe. I mean, he's not the, you know, he's not the worst defender, but he's certainly not the, you know, the greatest. He's not known for his defense, but he's not a bad defender either. So for that, you're gonna go 80 on the perimeter defense. You are going to go to 70 on the steal, so you can still maybe get some on-ball blocks here and there. It's not going to be a high rate. And for his block, Luca does get pretty decent blocks actually, so you're gonna go to 73 for his block. That would also give you anchor on bronze, so you can still get those. Now he did have a triple-double. He had 21 rebound literally in his last game. So what you're going to do with the rebounding is you're going to go to 73 on the defensive rebound. This will give you bronze rebound chaser, and then you are going to go to 58 on the offensive board. Now I wouldn't say Luca's any higher than that. This will allow you to, you know, get some offensive rebound. Would I like to go slightly higher? Probably, but you know, with the way the build's gonna be made, you literally can't afford to. Now again, Luca is not the fastest player, so you're gonna go 70 on the speed, and then with the acceleration, you're just gonna max that out. Now the strength, this is where the build really comes into play. You're gonna max out the strength to a 89, so that gives you silver bully. Now with the vertical, Luca is not known for his jumping, but he can dunk on players, so you're gonna go to 65 on that vertical, and then with the rest, you're just gonna put that on your stamina. That should give you a 95 stamina, I believe. There you go. So this is it. This is the Luca Doncic build that I personally think, would look and feel more like Luca. But I know there are certain people that are probably thinking I do want that 3-point to be a little bit higher, and I do have you. So now, weird thing about this build, it's going to be called a shooter. I mean, I tried to mix it around. Even both builds are going to be called shooters. I don't know why, but this is the first version of the build. I think it's got a pretty good badge spread. It's going to play and feel like Luca. You've got 17 offensive badges, 21 playmaking, 23 shooting, and 19 finishing. This is pretty good to give you a diverse range of badges, and it will represent Luca very, very well. But again, I know there are people that are quite hesitant on the 3-pointer, so don't worry, I got you. So with the takeovers, you can have shot creating, you can have sharp and playmaking with post, so you can literally choose any of those. We all know Luca's probably gonna have negative impact because he takes some crazy contested jump shots, and you can go playmaking if you want. So this will be the first version of the build. Again, the name of the build, you're gonna see the shades of it. The first person that came up is Luca, of course. So this is the first version of the Luca build, but I got you with the second one. The second one I think is gonna be probably what you guys would probably want to make, just because even when I checked his player card on 2K, he actually only has silver bully, which I was quite surprised about, because I thought Luca was going to have a slightly sort of higher playmaking. I'm sorry, not higher playmaking, a higher strength than that, but he's only literally got silver bully. So with the second version, we are going to have to lower the weight, of course, because you can't you still can't go that high on the weight and still get what you want on that. So with the second version of this Luca build, I think this is probably going to be Luca build that you guys are probably going to make. I think looking at his player card in hindsight, I was surprised to find out he's only got silver bully. So with this version, we're still gonna go 6'9", but we're gonna reduce the weight. Now this version is also slightly better in terms of play style, just because I know a lot of you guys do want that 75 speed of ball to give you access to the Michael Jordan. People really love this Michael Jordan dribble style. With the wingspan, we're going to drop that to a 71. We're still going to leave the body type as solid. It's got down to you, but yeah, Luca's not the muscliest of players. But going into the attributes, it's going to be very similar to the first one, except for a few changes. So the close shot will still be at a 76. The driving layup will still be at an 80. And now we're going to still, literally the finishing would be identical to the first one. The only difference again would be the speed of ball and the 3-pointer. So with the 3-point on this version, you're going to go to a 89, and I think an 89 is more a good representation of Luca, because now you get that Agent 3 on gold, and also you get blinders, and you have silver limitless, and also you can still get that Midi Magician on Hall of Fame if you want to. With the ball handle, very similar to the first one, it will be at 87, and then with the speed of ball, we're going to go to a 75. So this version does have that 75, and also you get an extra playmaking badge on this version of the build. With the defense, it's not good. The rebounding won't be as high as the first one, but it's still going to be fairly close. We're still going to go to 80 on the perimeter defense, and with the steal, we're still going to go to a 70. And then we're going to go to a 73 block, because it gives you an extra defensive badge, as you can see at 73. Now, when it comes to the rebounding, you can go up to a 73 right there. And then we're going to come back to the offensive rebound later on. If we have any extra to spare, we'll put it there. Otherwise, that will be it. So now you get a better acceleration on this version of the build. You're still going to go to 70 with the speed, because Luca is not the fastest guy in the universe. But now you get the silver bully. Silver bully is definitely not bad. It's definitely not as bad as people think it is. You still get a lot of animations if you know what you're doing. The vertical at 65, and then stamina, we're going to leave that at a 95. Now we do have a bit to spare, so at this point it's completely down to you where you want to put it. But given the fact that he did get a triple double with 21 rebounds, he does get some offensive rebounds, Luca does, but he's not like he's not known for snagging the ball a lot. So at this point, you can literally just put that on your free throw if you want to. But I'll pretty much do this for the second version of this build. I do think this version is probably going to be more, especially when I checked his player card on 2K, I think this is definitely more towards Luca. And I think, yeah, this is probably the one that people would want to make, if you're really thinking about it. But the name of the build will be very, very similar to the first one. I don't know why the 2K wants to call you a shooter, but look, if you don't mind the name of the build, the attribute wise is again very, very Luca-esque. So when it comes to the shades, as you'll be able to see, of course, Luca is going to be a part of it because we're making a Luca Doncic build. And you can see he's the first person that came up. The name of the build will still be called a shooter. So there you have it. There you have the two versions of the build. In hindsight, I do think the second one is probably slightly better, but it's completely down to you which one you want. If you want that gold bully, then you can always make the first version of the build. Both of them are pretty good, depending on what you want to go or what you want to do with the build. But I'll pretty much do it with this version of Luca. GG's to him for dropping that historic triple double. If there's any other NBA plays that you guys do want to make or any other builds that you guys are curious about, then by all means, feel free to let me know. I'll be happy to make them for you. But I'll pretty much do it for this video, and I will see you in the next one.